All right, and so as we weren't able to capture it because the recording messed up, but you got a critical on your short rest healing, and then rolled a maximum on your D4 of healing. So you restored 8 health, which, yeah, restores you to full. I don't believe Hista even took any damage, so she's full.
Nope.
But you guys begin to approach this sort of what looks like a robbery as you see one man with a leather helmet and light leather armor with a bushy tail, and another man who has wolf ears protruding from his head. You can tell that these guys are definitely Therian, the 8th tribe, and it seems as though they're trying to rob this man. And the man you see on the carriage is a Kako, a man of the 10th tribe, the lowest of all the tribes other than monsters themselves. Which, you know, he's a almost goat-like person with horns. They're usually seen as very demonic from what you know of them, but it seems like things are in reverse right now. As you approached him, and or you approached the situation, you left Hista behind, and you try to settle things civilly.
Yeah. So what I'm essentially, let me give you a little bit of the thought process here too, is I know that these people are probably not going to want to do anything civilly. They're robbers. They're not going to let me just talk them out of it. So I am basically being a distraction, and she's already Hista's such a small, like, I can't even say person. She's a super small, I guess, Panita. She's going to be able to kind of sneak up a lot faster.
I mean, you could just say person. They're still people.
Well, yeah, but like I don't want to they're people.
What do you mean, you people?
But she's a lot smaller than me, so she'll be able to sneak in and either cast a slice or whatever it is that she needs to do.
Okay.
But that's kind of the thought process. But continue.
Okay, yeah. So you approach, and what do you say to them specifically?
Say, surely we can handle this like civilized people. If he's got a carriage full of things, I'm sure you could try trading him for something. I don't think he's just handing everything out.
And you see, they look at you, and they say, "Ah, you're one of them, Denami. You think you're better than everyone, huh? How about you just kick rocks?"
If I thought I was better than everyone, I wouldn't be helping out someone of the 10th tribe. I wouldn't be meddling with an affair between an 8th and a 10th tribe's people. I don't think that. I just think you're kind of being an asshole.
Make a charisma roll. Okay, so you say that you're not better than everyone, you just think that the guy's being a dick. And the guy sort of thinks for a second before saying, he looks to the other robber and says, "This is getting too busy, too much work. Let's just get out of here," as they run off into the woods.
All right. Sweet. I'll say, well, never mind. The coast is clear. We're good to go.
Right. As you see, she slowly creeps out of a bush holding her knife, looking like she was about to leap at them.
Okay. Well, all right then. Let's see if the guy's okay.
Yeah. So you approach this man as he says, I didn't expect you to do that for me."
Why? You're the same as anyone else. You're a person.
He said, "Well, my tribe's not exactly treated like like people,
Yeah, well, I mean, at least around these parts, I don't know many people, at least from my tribe, that really would have given a shit, so I wasn't raised that way. Seemed like you needed help, so I helped.
He says,
Did
"Well,
they end up taking anything?"
No, they haven't taken anything from me. Well, I don't really have much for them to take regardless. This is for transporting people, not things."
What kind of people are you transporting?
He said, well, go ahead and take a look inside. As you look inside and you see it's completely empty.
There's nobody in there.
He said, yeah, it's hard finding someone who will actually let Kako's trade maneuver them around the realm.
As in, you're more like transport, as in you're taking them from place to place, or you.
So essentially, he's a stagecoach.
Okay.
But he seems as though he's having a hard time finding work because people don't really trust his tribe. They're seen as very evil and wicked and untrustworthy. So it seems like he's having a hard time finding clientele.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, my friend. What was your name?
Yeah. So his name is Otigos. Or Otigus.
Otigus. Cool. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Otigus. I can end your clientele drought right now. Is there any chance you'd be able to take us to Protos? I don't have money on me right now, but I do have these few gemstones that I could probably trade there for some cash and pay you with that if you're okay.
So if you look at your character sheet, you do actually have money. That is what the P with the squiggle through the bottom, that says 350, that is your money.
Oh.
You do have $350, which is not it's not a lot, but it is something, and you do still have the gems.
All right. Well, what's your rates, Protos? Or not Protos? Third. I'm looking at the fucking city. What's your race? Race. Jesus Christ. What's your rate? And what was his name again?
Odigos.
Odigos.
If you want to write it down, it's Odigos.
Odigos. Cool. What are your rates, Odigos?
He says, well, just whatever you're willing to give.
All right. Well, how does...
He said, pay me now, pay me there. It's all the same to me. I was heading there regardless. And it seems as though Hista chimes in and says that she will pay it using the bounty from the Goblineers, because she was only using it for travel, and if this guy's taking you there, that saves her 3 days of travel.
Perfect.
And if he carries her on to the capital, then that saves another, 3 days. So she says that she'll cover it, so that way you can get where you're going.
Perfect. Well, it seems you have some customers then. Let's go.
Alright, and so you guys begin heading towards, you guys rest for the night, since it is almost nightfall.
Oh.
And then you head towards Protos, and you arrive the next day. So the 17th was spent on just travel. You arrived on the 18th.
Awesome.
So it is now early morning of the 18th. And if you want to see what he looks like, there you go.
All right. Cool.
Okay, so he parks the stagecoach over here.
All right. So I'm just gonna kind of tell his son. I guess I'll tell him. Or are we all over there? Okay, bet. So go ahead and hold up right here. I'm gonna go around town and kind of see if I can, curry up any favor with some of the allies that we should have here, and so that way we can figure out what happened.
Right, and as you tell him this and you get out of the stagecoach, you do notice that there are some locals who are sort of shooting strange looks, because his carriage was not a horse-drawn carriage. It was large, wolf-like creatures that seemed very almost menacing. And he says, well, they won't be fit for travel for a few days because they had a few injuries beforehand. So, if there's anywhere else you need to go, we can't until probably the 21st. So do what you need.
Okay. I'll see if there's anything that we can do to potentially see if we can get aid to those, maybe speed up their recovery and get them rested or fed.
So essentially, I'm doing this because that's now your sort of deadline. So you have until the 21st to do what you will here before he leaves.
Okay.
So,
Oh.
and upon hearing this, Hista, who again was heading towards the capital, not here, says that she will go look for an inn for you guys to stay at.
Sounds good. We'll meet back here when everything's all said and done, I guess. I'm going to go see what kind of favor I can curry up.
Okay, so yeah, now she is now over in town. Okay, so now you have sort of entered free time.
I'm going to say, Odigos, what do you plan to do? I know you guys aren't exactly looked upon favorably here. I don't want you to have any trouble.
Okay, and you can see your deadline is 3 days.
Yep.
Well, I'll mostly see who's willing to work with me about getting, the old girls back in running shape.
Okay. If case you need something to help, I don't know, potentially sway them to helping you out, see if they would potentially be interested in one of these, and I'm going to hand them a gemstone.
Alright, so you hand him one of the clear gemstones. You now only have 3.
See if you can use that. That might be able to help curry yourself up some favor.
And he looks almost in disbelief at you. You'd be willing to give me one of these?
Yeah, like I said, I don't view you as lesser. You're just another person trying to make ends meet.
You're quite the strange one. I appreciate it, boss. As he,
I'm not your boss. You can just consider it a friend, but no problem.
Well, by boss, he doesn't mean a literal boss. That's just
What he says.
Yeah, it's just something that, like, they'll say as to, like, their clientele.
Okay.
So it's more of, like, a way of being friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as you see, he gets off the stagecoach and begins tending to the animals. Okay, so you now have free time, but you do still need to see about the allies within 3 days before leaving. Technically, that's just a deadline for him leaving, since you don't technically have to go with him and Hista to the capital.
Cool. I'm gonna go see what this question mark's all about.
So, okay. So the question marks are basically activities for you to do. I realize that they don't actually have the yellow aura.
They don't, but I can see them.
Yeah. But yeah, you can see them, so that's good enough. So basically, those are things that you can sort of investigate and sort of check out around town. You can also burn your time there. So just approaching it to see what it is isn't going to take up your time, but if you actually choose to do something there, then that will take up your time.
Yeah, okay.
And that'll, be like, you training or doing stuff. You can also spend your time with your allies and companions.
Okay.
Okay, so as you approach, you see that this is a church-like building. That's what you discern from the outside.
Okay, and I'm assuming I don't know where any of my allies are in here, or do I know where they're at?
You do not. You've never been here before.
I'll just go in and investigate and see if any of my... Do I know what the allies look like? Do I know anything about these people at all? I know that we have them here.
The only thing that you know
Anything.
is that you're looking for a man by the name of Dino.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to go in here and ask around real quick.
Okay, so you spend your day at the church?
I was more just going to go in and ask a question than leave, but... I mean, are they currently in the middle of a session?
No, there's not a session happening right now. There are some people doing stuff in there, like talking, setting stuff up, but there's not like mass happening.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna go and ask a question.
Okay.
I'm not gonna spend the whole day there. I just need to fucking know if they know any guy named Dino that's around here. I need his help.
And as you ask, they say that yes, he's actually the person in charge of the church, the priest.
Could you point me in his direction? It seems my house and his family, or my house and him, are allies, and I need to have a word with him.
They say that he's likely at the crypt still. They just laid someone to rest.
Could you point me in that direction?
I don't know if you can see the pings. Bottom left.
Bottom left. Cool. So perfect. Can you give me? I'm gonna head on over there then. Appreciate your time.
Okay. Okay, so you're just going in for the investigation?
Yeah, that's all I was doing. I'm not gonna spend the day there yet. My first thing is I want to fucking talk to this guy. That's my priority number one.
Yeah, you're good. I'm just saying. Okay, yeah. So you go inside and you see that there's a couple people around a area in the crypt where it seems like they've just had a funeral sort of end, and there's still a couple people who are still around. But you do see a man.
Matches the description.
Yeah, he's a tall Thalassan man, the tribe for the fish people, wearing a black sort of suit that's very elegant, of his status as sort of the bishop of the town.
Okay.
As he is in charge of sort of the religious affairs for the entire town. So he's a bit more than just a normal priest.
Yeah. Say Bishop Dino, I presume?
And he looks at you, sort of confused for a moment. He said, I haven't seen that crest in a while. I assume you're here on business?
Unfortunately, yes, but under circumstances that I would wish didn't happen, but yes, unfortunately, I am here on business. It's to my knowledge that my father and you have established a good relationship between each other, correct?
Yeah, I would say that. How is the old man?
Well, his status is unknown. It seems while my father was back at the village and I was on a trade route, we were attacked, and it seems I may be the only survivor, and am presumably the current head of House Ignetria, along with my fellow compatriot Dimitri, who is currently trying to find allies or someone to help so that we can figure out what happened to my family and my village.
I see, that's terrible to hear. So the old village was found after all.
It seems like it, and am I correct in assuming you may know what our house's responsibility was?
Of a sort. I've heard of the artifact, but I have no knowledge of it myself.
Yes, it seems that the people who raided our village were aware of the artifact as well and have taken it, and I am needing to get it back as the eldest son of my father. It was my responsibility to safeguard that as well as just help with the safety of the village. And I was told if I needed help that there were allies in this village, and I was told that would be you.
Come to my office later. I'll see what I can dig up about this. As you see, he begins to head off towards the church.
Awesome. I appreciate your time.
Okay, so now at some point, probably give him a bit of time. And he will basically do his investigation on the matter. And we'll say that you've given him all information about what you saw.
Okay.
So about like the robed man, about the man in the black suit. You gave him as much detail as you could, as he begins to go off to do his own sort of investigation about what information he might be able to pertain.
Okay.
Okay, so you are now on complete full-time as you have completed your objectives, so your quest to link up with your father's allies has been completed.
Is this quest still here, or was that where I had to go?
Yes, that's a side activity for you to do.
Cool. Well, I'm here, so let's do it.
Okay.
See what it is.
And for completing the quest before you begin that, of finding your father's allies, you have reached level 2, so your party levels up.
Alright.
So, for getting a level, your health will increase by 3 plus Constitution. This applies to both you and Hista.
Cool. So now my Constitution goes up by 3 points.
No, your health goes up. Your maximum
health.
Your maximum
And
health.
Constitution.
No, it goes up. Okay. So your max health is 10 right now, yeah?
Yeah.
So it goes up to 13. What's your Constitution modifier?
Oh, it's plus 0.
Okay, then it's just 3.
Okay. Alright.
And then I don't know, Hista might... Yeah, Con 44. So she will get 4 health extra.
Okay.
So, yeah, hers will go up by 4 because she has higher Con. Your magic will also increase by 3 plus intelligence or wisdom, whichever's higher.
You said it goes up by 3?
By 3 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Cool, so I get 4 out of it. So I get 14, so I get a plus 1.
And again, this applies to both of you.
Cool, and then hers will also go up. No, hers just goes up by 3. Cool.
Okay, you are now on free time until the
Yeah, I'm gonna see
carriage
what's
is ready.
going on with this quest over here. See what it is.
Okay, and as you begin to approach the crypt, you can almost feel your sort of Denami necrotic energy sort of fluctuate a bit as you approach the crypt.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you feel as though that this would be an excellent place to sort of practice your craft. And maybe link yourself more with death itself.
And that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Okay, so you spend your time in the crypt, sort of feeling out your power, you know, practicing your spell, and sort of meditating within the crypt. And your total MP will actually increase by an extra +1 for having studied and sort of perfected
Sweet.
your magic.
I don't learn any new spells. Fuck. Okay, cool. That's good.
Yeah,
though.
learning new spells will be like a much bigger deal. You can still get
Okay.
it from side activities. It's just there'll be a bit more build up, and that's not to say you got the +1. You would have just gotten progress, but because you'd already spent a day prior practicing, I went ahead and gave you the +1 now.
Okay.
Okay, but as you exit, you see that it is almost nightfall. As you see Hista begin to approach you and say that over here, this top left question mark, that is the inn, and she has gotten a room, one room for you, one room for her.
Does it seem that they probably won't house Odigos? They don't seem too they don't seem too fond of him. Is that correct?
Yeah, that seems to be the case. Although it doesn't seem as though this is something that he's not used to. He seems very used to this, and it seems as though he is very comfortable spending the night in the carriage.
Let me have a word with the innkeeper.
Okay, sure.
Oh, is there like a room in there, or is it just this? Is there?
It's just this. I didn't see the point in setting up a whole thing for the
totally
inside of the inn.
Like, hi, my name is Glass. Am I correct in assuming that you're the innkeeper of this fine establishment?
Yes, and as you approach, you do see that it is a woman, Denami, with long, flowing, sort of light blue hair. And she says, "Yes, this is my establishment."
Oh, it's nice to see a fellow Denami here. It seems that you have affiliation with ICE, would I presume?
Yes, that would be the case.
Much like my mother. So, I understand that my compatriot here has reserved 2 rooms, and it seems that another member of our party is seemingly unwelcome here. Is that correct?
You mean the Kakos man?
Yes, indeed.
It's nothing personal. I don't have anything against them, but the other clientele. They see them as a bit dangerous, we'll say.
What if I were to tell you that he is actually here with me, someone of noble lineage, and I will show her my family crest?
Make a persuasion roll at advantage, because you are raising a very good point.
And I am also here on business with the bishop, Bishop Dino, or Dino. He is
Yeah,
a
I mean,
friend of my family.
you've brought up relation with the bishop, relation to nobility, similarity with your mother being the same sort of sub race of Denami. So yeah, I'll say you get advantage for your persuasion roll.
Cool. 17.
Yeah, and so she looks at you, and then she looks down at the notes that she was holding on the board that she had for clientele, and says, I still can't give him a room, but should you allow him in yours, a noble of your standing, I couldn't say anything.
Why, thank you very much. And I didn't quite catch your name. You said it was...
Yes.
Give a random name. I don't care. I know you don't have a name for this person.
Yeah, so she says that her name is Tyra.
Thank you very much, Ty. I appreciate your understanding. And I know that these were rather plentiful with the people that we would trade with. As a token of my appreciation, I shall give you one of these. It's not much, but it's better than nothing to show my gratitude. I'll give her one of the lesser gemstones.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Does she seem even remotely cool with that? Is that something popular over there? Is she accepting of it? Is she happy or no?
She does accept it. She does give you a smile. It doesn't seem like they're worth a ton, but it seems as though it was no small gesture.
Okay, perfect. Then yeah, I will say perfect. I will be back. So I'm assuming right now we got to tune in for the night.
Yes.
Turn in for the night. Cool. I'm gonna go let Otigos know kind of what's going on.
Yeah, and we'll say that you let him know, and then he goes up to the inn to stay for the night as well.
Perfect. Then yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, the deadline will also be whenever the animals are ready and whenever the investigation is over.
Okay, cool.
So you have so basically on the day of the 21st, you'll get your information, and the animals will be prepared.
Cool. Awesome. I'm gonna see kind of what's going on with the quest inside the inn. Since they were kind enough, if it's something I can do to help them, I'd want to do it.
Right, and as you approach the inn, you approach her once more, the innkeeper.
What was her name?
Tyra.
Good man.
Yeah, so you approach her, and you see about helping out, and she says that, or about what's going on, and she says there has been a monster nearby that has been running rampant, and that a bounty was actually just set out for it.
Okay. Yeah, let me see what I can do about that, because I do want to show you that I am still very appreciative for you allowing me to house my friend Otigos over here. So let me see what I can do about that, because I am in the business of bounty hunting myself whenever it, does present itself.
Okay, and so yeah, you promise her that you will look into it, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
So, information about bounties. So, you can go to a bounty board to collect a bounty. There is not a bounty board here in this town.
Mm-hmm.
The bounty that was set out, it was set out in the capital, so you'd have to go to the capital to collect the bounty poster and turn it in. So for right now, you could go slay the monster, but you wouldn't get the bounty for it because you haven't accepted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can go fight the monster, you just won't get the reward right now. So.
Okay. Do I know where the monster is at all, or any?
You know that it is a bit southwest of the town, but that is all.
Okay.
And it is hard to track down. But that's it for now.
I'm gonna go.
Basically, this is a quest that you have information on it, but you don't have anything solid yet. So you can't go after it right now. But
have the deadline of 2 daes, or this is kind of ongoing. And
this is an ongoing thing.
Got it.
Yeah, so this is not tied to the 2 days. You don't have to do this in the 2 days.
Cool.
Yeah, bounties, unless specifically said, bounties do not have deadlines. It's just it's until someone claims the bounty.
All right. Awesome. Then what I'll go ahead and do is, obviously, I'm going to let Hista know about it, since she does a lot of bounty hunting herself. So I'll make sure to keep an eye out on it, and who knows, if I end up slaying it, you may see me in the capital. Also, do you need to remove the question mark by the crypt that was down there?
No, because you can still go down there for more training and meditation.
Okay.
So as long as if there's a question mark there's an activity that you can perform there.
Cool.
And yeah, so you let Hista know about that. She says that while she's not a big bounty hunter, it does intrigue her. Because she's never gone after like big game like that, like the big names on the board. She's just a monster.
Well, you're
hunting.
not alone at this point, so I'm not opposed to having a go at it, because I will need to get currency while I'm roaming around these parts. I don't think the 350 pounds in my pocket will be enough to satiate everything that I'll need.
Yeah, probably not.
Awesome. Let me go take a look at what this little area is over here.
Describe it, because the pings are really weird. Because I made the map really big, so that way we can make the movements more fluid.
The top question mark.
Okay, so that's
Alright,
you can move your token.
That's true too.
Yeah, I have it set where you can move your token. The reason you can't move like your allies and stuff is because they're set there in case you want to spend your time with them. Okay, yeah, so you see that it is a small archery range that's been set up, maybe to train militia, maybe it's for sports, you're not sure, but it seems like you could potentially practice archery, or maybe even ranged spellcasting here. But that one would be a bit iffy.
Well, I need to be very particular about where I do my spell practice, because
You're right, especially since yours is like
I don't know a whole lot about it. Is it safe to say that I know it's like of necrotic origin? Like
yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, it is very clear.
Because I don't want to accidentally hit somebody with that. It's one thing if I did like water and accidentally splash somewhere.
Yeah, but this is just this is just a basic archery range.
Okay, yeah, no, I have no interest in doing this. Let me go and we'll go see what we got going on over here.
Right, and you see a man who seems to be a sort of foreman, looking over a lot of the people who are working on the farms right now. And he looks at you and he says, "You someone looking for work?"
I could be intrigued. What do you need?
Well, we could always use an extra hand at the farm.
I'm only a weary traveler, so I don't have a whole lot of time here, but I am more than willing to help out while I'm here.
So you decide to spend your day farming?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you look at him and you say that you're willing to help out while you're present. And he says, yeah, it's quite simple, as he begins describing what you'll have to do out here. Go ahead and give me a strength or dex, whichever is higher.
Dex. Doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah, so you tend to the crops for a while. You harvest what you can, as it is that season. Well, they're planting since it's spring, but you begin doing what you can. You followed the instructions of the foreman and all that, and you don't get a ton done, but you do a fair bit of work. You feel yourself your body sort of accolade to the hard work. You don't receive any stat boost, but you feel like you might be on the cusp of something. And you are also given 500 gold as pay.
Cool. Sweet.
Okay, and then you and the group return to the inn.
Cool. We tune in for the night. You can just skip the day. You don't got to move everybody unless something's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, I was updating the calendar, or the deadline in the day. Okay, yeah. The only one I'm gonna move is you back here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you leave the inn in the morning. It seems as though the bishop will have the information ready tomorrow, as you receive word from a messenger from him that was sent across town to you that he should have like a full report together for you tomorrow with all the information that you could receive from him.
Perfect. I'm gonna go talk to Tyra and see if there's anyone that I may be able to talk to about acquiring a horse.
Yeah, and so you approach her and ask her about potentially getting a hold of a horse, and she says, for long term or temporary?
Well, it'd be one that I'd use while I'm out adventuring, so long term, I presume.
She says, well, I don't believe there's anyone here selling horses right now, but I'm sure if you poke around there might be someone, though the price may be a bit out of your budget.
Do you have an idea of how much they would charge?
If I had to guess, maybe around 8,000 to 9,000 gold.
Okay. And then I know you said there was one as a temporary. What does that look like?
Well, that will vary. That's more on a personal basis, as the person may need to trust you before lending you a horse for adventures.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
And that's all the information that you're really able to gain.
Okay, well, all right. So thank you for the information. What I will go ahead and do then is I will go and go to the church.
Okay, yeah. So you go to the church and you see that they're having a mass where the bishop is about to give a sermon. If you would like, you can attend it.
I will.
Okay, and as you attend it, he begins talking about the faith and of the many gods of the realm, of which most people will settle on one that will sort of be the one that they have faith in, but he says that everyone is welcome here within his walls, regardless of who they decide to believe in, whether they be good or not. And as you sort of take in his message, you feel your intelligence grow. As you've really learned from what he's said, you can add 1 to intelligence.
Cool. Sweet.
Okay, and as the day comes to a close, as afterwards you sort of spend the day pondering, as it comes to a close, you...
Or a question.
Sure.
You say I spend the day pondering. Can I potentially use the remainder of the day to go train at the crypt again?
No.
Alright, never mind. Continue.
So as you begin leaving, you sort of, as you approach the inn, I should say, you see a Hecate's woman appear as she begins checking in for the day, but it seems as though she doesn't have enough money as you, Hista, and Otigos appear.
How much is she short?
She seems to be short about 250 gold.
Not a problem. Allow me to cover your charge for the night.
And she stops to look at you, the woman that you've helped, says, "Why would you help someone you've never met?"
Why? Well, I hope somebody would do the same for me.
I see. And,
And let's just say, back at my original, or not my original, back at my village, we were very friendly with the Hecate people, and let's just say, who knows, perhaps I have a fondness for them.
I see. As the innkeeper says, well, I guess it doesn't really matter who's flipping the bill, as long as it's paid. As you pay for the woman's room and everyone retires to their room for the night. And the day of the 21st approaches.
Cool.
Right, so you, as you begin to go over here, you see that Otigo says, "Oh well, looks like the animals are about ready to run. Just give me the word when you're ready."
Let me go have a word with the bishop. He said he should have some information for me, and then we'll circle back here.
Right, and so you approach the church. And the bishop is in his office. You walk in, and you see he has documents sprawled all over the place. And he says, "Well, I don't have names, but I do have some information that you might find worthy of your time used."
Mm-hmm.
And then you see he pulls out a document that has your crest on it. And he says, "Yes, this form seems to be a change of crest. It's not what your family's original one was. It seems as though they changed it whenever they took on their mission. Or at least returned to this one shortly after." And then he shows you a different one of a sort of a phoenix. Instead of it being of half fire, half ice like you've known your whole life, it is one of a sort of dark energy, this sort of necrotic energy similar to your magic seems to be swarming around it.
Okay. Like, what do you know of this symbol? It's a far cry different than what I've grown up used to.
He said, "Well, it seems to be very similar to the power that you hold."
I was able to surmise that myself. How interesting.
If I had to guess, I would say that the artifact that your family's been entrusted to for all these generations has taken a liking to you.
I do remember on some nights whenever I'd be safeguarding the trinket, it almost seemed as if I had some sort of connection to it, but I took that off as just a younger boy, just coming up with things in his mind to pass the time, but maybe there's more to it than I thought.
Yes, I also found tell. This may not help you on your quest, at least not in the traditional way, but I did find something quite interesting. As he produces a document that shows off a very nice chest piece of armor that is unfamiliar to you. But you do recognize that on the center is this sort of necrotic phoenix as the main emblem on the chest, and it covers most of the chest piece. And it looks as though at the sort of ends of the wings, or at least pretty close, is a magic gem on both sides. One blue, one red. He says,
And
if I had to guess, I would say that your old man probably had this hidden somewhere, waiting for the right day to pass it off to you.
do we know anything about its location?
So you're able to surmise that it is likely still at the village.
It seems I have a reason to go back.
That would seem to be the case. And also this mysterious man in the black armor. I surmise that he's a captain within the Royal Guard, though with his own personal squadron.
There was also another man.
So if I had to guess about this captain, he's likely to be in the capital within the coming weeks. You are aware of the celebration, are you not?
I am not.
Well, in the capital, they hold a celebration that is... It is to honor the royals, though the royals themselves have not attended it for some years. But it is held nonetheless, and it is a day of celebration. He's likely to turn up, as it would be quite the statement for a man of his decorum.
What day is this held?
Do what?
What day should I expect this celebration to be held?
So you can expect it in roughly the 16th of the next month.
Okay.
Or the 9th of the next month.
Okay.
I had the wrong week.
Alright. And then another thing I need to ask, although I hate to oppose Bishop Dino, is I know you were a great affiliation with my father. I'm going to need allies on how my village is completely wiped out. I know not even the well-being of my own family, as I had to rush here to gather allies to help take vengeance, or at least get justice for what happened to my family. Am I able to count on you? I know you're a man of God. I don't expect you to lift a finger, but I'm in need of allies. Are you able to aid me in my adventure?
And he puts his hand on your shoulder and says, after everything your father has done for me, I couldn't possibly refuse. You'll have my support in whatever course you take.
Thank you very much, Bishop Dino. I look forward to your guidance.
Alright.
What I'm gonna go do is head back to my village to go meet up with Dimitri, a family friend, and although the proper title would be a servant, he's much more than that. He's more part of the family, and someone who I hold in great regard. I'm going to go meet back up with him here and then head to the capital.
I see.
For this celebration. So as I return with Dimitri and whatever allies he's been able to accumulate, I'll make sure to swing by and offer my salutations.
Well, should you ever need a place to stay, Protos has its arms open.
Thank you very much. And I have one last question before I depart. Do you know anywhere where I may be able to acquire a horse?
A horse. Well, I may be able to lend you one.
If you'd be so kind, I would greatly appreciate it. How much will it be?
And he says, oh, I couldn't possibly ask of your money, as you have need for it on your mission, I surmise.
I do indeed, but I would hate to impose and not offer you anything in return.
And he says that your work at the farm was a big boon, as it really helped out, as they sort of been missing labor as of late, and that with everything your father's done, you showing, that you were willing to pitch in as well for the village's needs. He says that it's yours for as long as you may need it. For a time. So he's basically letting you use the horse for free for
Yeah.
So that way you can get done what you need, but he expects it back at some point soon-ish.
Of course. Perfect.
So like a month or two, he's willing to lend it to you for free.
No, yeah. It's not just mine. It has to come back.
Yeah,
But long term
he's
use,
not
I'm
giving
able
it to
use
you.
but
Yeah.
I don't own it. But perfect. And to help take care of the lack of labor, I do have a friend who works as a stagecoach who says clientele has been rather scarce due to his lineage of the 10th tribe. If you are willing to accept it, he may be more than willing to help out in order to make some coin for himself to survive on, but that's something you would have to figure out if your people would accept.
Well, I can spread the message of it, though. It's their own decision about whether they allow it.
Of course, but just know he is willing to work and help out where needed. He is a great man. Someone I've only just recently met, but he's very respectable and was able to help me and my compatriot in our time with need, so I'm willing to help him out, and I'm willing to put my trust in my family's name in association with his.
Alright, and with that, is there anything else that you would like to question him on?
I will say, so before I do go, I know I've asked many questions, but this will be my last, and I do promise that. Your relation with my father, how did that come about?
Well, I'm sure you don't remember it, as you were likely a lad at the time. But your village did hit a drought, and food was hard to come by. With little farming and little growing, no animals came around, which made hunting harder. So, your father pleaded with us for food. And, well, we provided, and I'm sure you know your father. He couldn't just leave well enough alone. He came back with another man. As he describes the man, you realize it's probably Dimitri. And they did what they could for the town. Helped out wherever they could.
And how long ago was that?
Must have been almost 20 years.
Perhaps that's why I find a fellow Denami woman working at the inn.
Perhaps.
I thank you for your time, Bishop, or Dino. I am going to be on my way.
Alright, take care.
You as well. So, I'm going to go with speed, and then I'm going to head on over to my gang over here.
Alright.
So, I'm just going to kind of inform them of everything that I'm doing. I'm going to let Hissa know, like, the man that I'm looking for seems to be in the capital, and he will be there for a celebration with the Royal Guard. I know that your goal is to join and become a Royal Guard, and please use my family's... You might want to be careful using my family's name now, since he is a part of that, and I don't want there to be a mark on your back, because obviously he has some sort of qualm with my family and the trinket that we possessed. So use my name sparingly, because I don't want it to do you more harm than good. Is it still your wish to go to the capital and become a member of the Royal Guard? If so, obviously have Odigos take you over there. But I'm going to be heading back to my village, because the bishop has informed me that there is likely still a keepsake from my father that was supposed to be passed down to me that would be of great use to me. So my duty is back to my village to meet up with my compatriot and gather allies.
Right, and they both sort of give off the impression that they are willing to go back to the village with you. Obviously, Odigos, he's just happy to have one company, but two, actually a job. And Hista sees you as sort of a friend in arms now.
Yeah.
And so she's willing to go back with you, since it's just a minor detour, especially with the carriage, which the carriage is exceedingly fast because of these sort of very intimidating wolf-type creatures. They are faster than horses. So this is faster than a normal carriage. but obviously it's hard to find work with them just because people are more receptive to horses, I suppose. But they are very quick, and so he says that it should only take but a couple days to get back over there. Once you describe where the village is.
Say, I will lead the way on horse. I know it may slow down a little bit because of the efficiency of your animals, but I'll lead the way, and then we can wait for Demetrius, or if Demetrius, and if he's there, then we'll move as soon as we can because we want to be there for that celebration. So we can head out now.
All right, and the party begins to make their move.
And as we're on the carriage, I'll say it might be a good idea as well, Krista. They said that this beast was towards the southwest. Perhaps we take a detour to see if we can slay said monster.
So you just have that it's generally in the southwest. You don't have an actual area. That could be literally anywhere in this sort of plains.
Okay, well, I thought her keep her eyes peeled, and I'll keep mine. I thought everybody would keep their eyes peeled in case we see something that matches the description.
All right, and you guys begin making your way, and you set up camp at the same place you did last time. And Odagos looks to you and says, I feel like everything's changed since that last time we lay camp here.
Yeah, well, for one, you have two people with you that aren't trying to rob you, so I'd say, if anything, it's changed for the better.
Okay, and you guys are about to sort of rest for the night. Is there anything you would like to do around camp as sort of a mini free time? So during travel, obviously, you're not in a town. You can't do free time proper, but you can get a sort of mini bit of free time where you can hang out with the people at the camp or potentially find something to do there.
I was going to say, so this power that I have, I've always struggled to understand it completely, but after my conversation with the bishop, I feel I have a better grasp on it. I'm going to go into the woodline to go work on it a little bit. I will return.
All right, and so you begin to work on your necrotic magic again?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and as you begin working on it, you don't feel as much synergy as you're practicing it as you did at the crypt, but you do begin to work on it a bit. But nothing actually becomes of it. You feel that you may have gained a bit, but not enough for it to change anything.
Yeah. Okay.
So you've made progress, you just haven't gotten anything yet.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess we'll tune in. So that was my free time.
Okay, you guys begin making your way, and you arrive at camp, and you guys have to set up another camp before actually hitting the tree line to approach the village, as it would be pretty difficult for the giant carriage to ride in there, but it can. It's just sort of rough terrain.
Mm-hmm. So I'll say, I'm going to spend the time with both of them at the campsite and kind of talk, get a little bit of story out of them. So I'm going to ask Hista what her plan is when she does become a royal guard. Do you have anything that you want to do with there, or what is it? Is that where your story ends, or you want to do something more? And that's just the first step.
Oh, well, I suppose I become a royal knight and see where it goes, see where they station me.
Do you have any preferences on where you'd like to be?
I mean, just about anywhere would be okay. As long as I'm serving the people.
Fair enough. Seems you have a strong sense of justice. Are you familiar with anyone else of your kind going and becoming a royal knight as well? Is it common, unheard of? I know you guys are rather rare yourself.
Well, to be honest, I've never even heard of a royal knight of my tribe, but I mean, there's a first for anything, right?
Exactly. I suppose you could be the first as well. And Odagos, what about you? Where do you air from? Are you from around this area? Are you from somewhere else? Or
Oh, well, I come from way down south. Very unruly land.
And how long were you there till you moved more towards up here? Or do you still consider that home?
Well, I never considered it home. Home isn't quite a place where you might wake up dead. Though I suppose not much has changed up here, it's just... Here, people more hate you for your tribe. Down there, people just hate you because you exist.
Well, it seems you've at least found 2 people that don't hate you for that. They see past that, so... Suppose that is a turn for the better. Maybe things are changing.
Aye, it's a good sign of what may come.
Well, you seem to be a good man. If I'm able to restore my house to its former glory, you'll have a place in it, my friend.
And I thank you kindly for all you've done.
Of course.
As you guys turn in for the day, and the next day begins, you guys arrive in the village, and we will take a short intermission.
Oh.